Hi 108, it's week 12 and we're working on unit 20. So we're almost there to that keyboard proficiency, and the material here in unit 20 is very similar to the level and the chord structure and what you'll be asked to show on that proficiency. So take a lot of time to go through unit 20 carefully. Make sure that if you don't understand something, you ask in class. Better yet, set up an appointment. Let's do some practicing together. So at the beginning of unit 20, your book is introducing a chord sequence of major 1, minor 6, major 4, minor 2 first inversion, major 1 second inversion, major 5, major 1. This is not the chord progression on the proficiency. You know that that is just your basic 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 5, 1. But by practicing this chord progression and practicing it in different voicings, it's really good work for our harmonization skills. It's going to help you create some muscle memory on patterns that are found frequently, that you'll be able to identify them more frequently when you are sight reading, that you'll have a basis of chord structure that you know is comfortable to get to when you're figuring out an example. So on page 253, they give you an example both with playing 3-note chords in each hand and doing it in keyboard style, which I know that's been a challenging one, so great to work that way. Remember, keyboard style telling you that just that root or lowest sounding notes in the left hand, 3-note chord in the right hand. So if I was doing this in C, I'd have major 1, 6, 4, minor 2 first inversion, major 1 second inversion. You could practice it with a 5 or a 5-7 and a 1. Take it through different keys, incorporate it with your technique practice. It's a great way, again, to build some harmonic language that you know feels comfortable to your hand and that you can find quickly when you are either sight reading or coming up with a harmonic analysis for something that you are doing on a harmonization portion. As you turn the page in this unit, page 256, 257, some excellent sight reading, very appropriate to the length and difficulty that you're going to see on the proficiency. Please try to practice them in the way that the proficiency will run. So if I'm looking at that first example, I'm figuring out that it's the major key of D. I'm allowed to do a scale. You could do it with a split hand. You could do a full octave if you want. I'm allowed to do a chord pattern of 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 5, 1. After that, I'm not allowed to play the right hand or the left hand. You certainly can finger silently. I'd encourage you to finger that left hand as blocked chords. You can finger through the right hand. Check out any place it looks like it might have a fingering that's unusual or a fingering suggestion. Take a look at what the tempo is. Set a tempo that's a little bit more conservative than that. These pages at 256, 257 would also be great pages for those of you that are vocal emphasis to use for transposition. Please take it up a third or down a third. That is going to be what they will ask you to do on the proficiency. Your book is usually taking you up or down a second. A third is what you're going to be expected to do, so challenge yourself with that. The harmonizations that you find in this unit on 258, 259, again, excellent examples. On page 258, you've got 2 in tablature and 1 in Roman numeral. They've got inversions. They've got some unusual 6s and 2s in inversions, so things that we haven't seen before. So those are definitely examples to practice, very typical of what you're going to see. Do the left-hand prompts that they have, but also try to change it up. If it's an Alberti bass, can you do it in blocked? If it's a blocked bass, can you do it in a broken bass? The 2 examples on page 259 are what you're responsible for quiz 9 this week. So both examples. Please note, I want them in the following styles. This is not what the book says. This is what is listed for this quiz. For the top example on 259, Vive l'Amour, I want 2-handed. So you can pick what kind of rhythm you want, but you need to have that style of both hands doing harmony. No one should be playing that melody. That can be sung, it can be played by another instrument, you can be hearing it in your head. The bottom example of bingo on page 259, again, please don't follow the book prompt. This needs to be in keyboard style. That means lowest sounding note of your chord in the left. The right hand is playing the complete 3-note chord with the melody being the highest note. So please be careful with that opening chord if you use an A major, that you don't put anybody above that A melody. You have to voice it so that is on the top. If you are instrumental or orchestral, please be continuing to work with your transposition packets that have been found on the website. Please remember that pdmpiano.org is another great resource. We will continue to do some in class as well. The last thing you should be doing this week is solidifying your choice for what you want your prepared piece to be for your proficiency. These are a few suggestions of 5 pieces that I think work really well in your book. I will take a look at them with you in class, give you kind of the highs and lows, what's easy, what's challenging, what the expectations for tempo would be. 224 is the cuckoo that you just did on your second exam, so that one you know. Here are 4 other choices that I think are worth looking at. So please take a look at those before class so that as we take a look at them in class and try them, you can quickly come to a decision as to what piece you would like to do for your prepared piece on the proficiency. Remember, it does not need to be memorized. It needs to be at a performance tempo with appropriate dynamics, appropriate articulations, and it needs to sound smooth and prepared, ready for an audience. So lots of work here in Unit 20. Quiz 9, 2 harmonization examples. Please remember the styles I am asking for. It is different than the book. And keep working hard. Your work will pay off in a couple weeks here as we get ready for that proficiency.